Hello there folks, Hawk here. I am going to do just a real quick video on some modifications I did to my Arcblast. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Arcblast, when you get it, it comes pretty bare, and that is you've got just the pack, the straps with just daisy chains on the front, ignore the stuff here, your hip belts, no hip belt pouches, and on the sides you just have these side pouches right here. Now what I've done is the usual roll top. This roll top is very similar to most dry bags, and in fact this is essentially waterproof. Now there are some reasons why it's not completely waterproof, but it's effectively been that way for me. When you first get it, you have a strap that attaches here to this tri-glide, goes over, and then, where are we here? Attaches to this fitting right here. On the strap is a male piece, and that was on mine. I broke it. It still functioned, but it did bother me a little bit. I couldn't put quite as much force on it as I'd like. So from Z-Packs I ordered some of the snap buckles, some separate snap buckles, some extra strap, and a few other odds and ends. And what I was intending to do was simply replace that buckle. Instead, the new buckles are different, so I couldn't just replace it. So what I did was I took that buckle off, or that strap off from this tri-glide, and I put on two straps. One here and one here. These are attached to the upper carbon bar, and then I sewed them. So what happens is these come over the top, and they attach to a Y that I put right here with two of the female ends here of the new snap buckles. So now I've got two straps that go over the top, and whatever I hold on top, and I usually keep my what used to be the Z-Packs food bag on top, sort of like a brain for my rucksack. The two straps hold it much more securely, and I like that a lot. So that's the first change that I did. Second change is I added these two side pouches. They go on the high sides of the side, and these are attached normally with hang on just a second. Already I'm back. This is what they use, Z-Packs uses to fasten most of their stuff. Now I don't know if you could see that. It's basically a short section of a short loop of their Dyneema cord with one of their micro cord locks. Now what they'll simply do is loop this through any two little fabric loops, fit the cord lock through the end of this loop, and then tighten it down. Usually holds things pretty well. What I did, and all of this stuff they send you with a bunch of these little cord locks. What I did was simply tied them on. It gives me the same effect. I'm going to keep them on there for a while anyway, so I don't have to worry about it. Those help add a lot of extra storage space. I carry a lot of stuff volume-wise. It's not particularly heavy, but this makes it a little easier, so I don't have to go through the motions of doing some major pack down, and it still works pretty well. So then onto the straps. For the straps, you usually just have a couple of daisy chains, and what I did, first of all, let's talk about water bottle. I was going to use switch back to a bladder, but I came up with a way to attach this water bottle fitting. This I got from Trail Designs. You can also get it from Z-Packs. Usually goes up in the loop that they have up here. They have a couple of different ways to attach it. What I did, I was getting a little irritated with it because every time I took my bottle off, this thing fell out. What I did was drilled some small holes here, a couple of small holes up here. Here I just laced through some 1/16 inch cord to hold it onto the daisy chain. Up here it went through the loop, and I've got one of those little loops here with the cord lock to hold it in place. Now it's real secure and holds a smart water bottle just fine. Along with that, I've also got a little Velcro loop down here. The bottle drops into here and then snaps into place up here. Very, very secure. Works really well, so I like that a lot. Then up here, I mounted. This is actually what used to be a dash mount for a camera, and what I did, just drilled some holes, took a hot screwdriver shank, melted some holes through the strap, and used threaded posts. I got it Lowe's. They're aluminum, so they're very, very light. Bolted that on, and this seems to work okay. It's probably not quite as stable as I'd like it, you know, because you get a little bit of swaying motion back and forth as you're hiking. But still, it's pretty good. That way I can use both my trekking poles. I've fallen a couple of times, and it's nice to have both those trekking poles for stability. So that will give me an opportunity to do a little bit of videoing, even though I'm just booking along. Next, if I can get it out of the shadow, this is one of Z-Pack's hip belt pouches. Now I've gotten two of them. One is still on my left strap, or left hip belt. But I found it's a little bit difficult to close the zippers on those things if they're on your hip belt. So what I did was I used the hip belt pouch for stuff I don't have to get in and out very quickly. This one up here makes it much easier to get to, much easier to open and close. So that's probably where I'll keep my camera, the camera I'm using right now. And they're mostly waterproof. I don't think I would trust them 100% in a downpour, but they're still pretty good. So those will be probably either camera or a couple of things I'll need to get to pretty quick. Next is, let me stuff some stuff back in here. This is Z-Pack's multi-pack, a chest pack. Just used this once to check it out. It's really, really nice. The negative about it, of course, is that you've got this object against your chest or stomach, and on a hot day it's going to cause you to sweat a little bit. I was out in 20-degree weather, and because I was dressed pretty warmly, I actually did get a little bit of sweating underneath this pack. But in general, the thing rocks. I have a problem with, once I'm hiking, I don't want to stop a lot, and as such, I really need to have quick access to food or a camera or something. So the camera or food will go in here or up in here, and that should give me a lot more access and make it a lot more easy to stay well fed and get to my camera pretty quickly. So I think that's it. I've tried this out a couple of times now. Tried the multi-pack out once. Everything seems to really work for me. This, like I said, you can get from Trail Designs. They make the Cold Air Cone, or you can get it from Z-Packs. This I had to make, and of course the hip pouches and the multi-pack you get from Z-Packs. And you can also get the webbing and fittings and everything from Z-Packs as well. Anyway, that was just a couple of things that oh, one more. Z-Packs sells an extra pad for the back of your hip belt. And what I did, I thought it might be kind of handy. I was getting pretty thin, and the hip belt was harder to tighten up. So I just took a section of ridge rest, made a couple of elastic straps, loops here, and stuck that on the back of the hip belt. It does two things for me. Number one, it adds a little bit of cushion, although that really isn't quite so necessary. but it does also add a little space back there, and makes it easier to fit the belt. So that's also that's probably the last thing that I'll cover. All this stuff really seems to work for me pretty well. Just I love this pack. This is I've had this for I think just under 2 years, and it's still holding up pretty well. Of course, I haven't been through too much of the through hike part yet, so we'll see. But it's been a real nice pack, and even with all the stuff that I've added to it, it comes in at about 1.5 pounds, maybe an ounce heavier than that, maybe 2 ounces at the max. So at tops, it's about 26 ounces, and it's a pretty good amount of volume. Like I said, I don't pack things very tightly because it allows me to get things out and put it back in pretty quickly. So that's it. That's my pack, and that's the changes that I made to it. If you have any questions, just put your comments down in the comment section, and I'll be getting right back to you. So thanks a lot for watching, and hawk out.